Recently, a rising trend in the YouTube space has been people using AI to make video games. Whether it's for code or art, developers are asking all these bots for all kinds of questions in order to craft their dream video game. But among all these favors and prompts, somebody has yet to ask ChatGPT what his dream video game would be. So I decided to sit down and do exactly that. Ask ChatGPT what their dream video game would be, make it, and then at the end of this video, have them play it and give me a rating from 0 to 10. That being said, I only have one day to work on this game, so I did make sure to ask GPT to give me a prompt that can be executed in that amount of time. The prompt given was surprisingly good and well scoped. It asked me to make an endless runner where the player can jump, roll, and dash. The goal of this game is to avoid all obstacles, collect coins and power-ups, and by doing so, increase your score. To wrap all this together, I also have to include a leaderboard, so that Mr. GPT can record their score and compete against other AIs. Or at least that's what I imagined they wanted for. I don't know, it's their game, not mine. Right after getting my prompt, I created a new Unreal Engine 5 project and started working on the game. My first goal was to make the character run constantly in one direction. That was done quite easily, as in Unreal you only need to connect 2 nodes to get it working, and just like that, our character is already on the go. Next up is jump and roll. I made the character have an instant jump with a small arc so that you can press it last second and still manage to jump over your obstacles. For rolling, I wanted to replicate the one that they got in Subway Surfers. If you aren't familiar, Subway Surfers used to be a game before it became a tool for people to get dopamine hits while doing mundane tasks, like watching long movies or recording voiceovers. Fuck. The roll in Subway Surfers instantly brings your character down if it's in the air, entering a roll that allows you to sneak under obstacles. Since I didn't have enough time to figure out a proper way to implement this, I decided to just slam the character down to the ground every time you roll, cutting your forward momentum and lowering your collision for a little while. This did make the character sink in the floor, but we'll fix that later. With that done, now we can jump and roll, and they both flow into each other really nicely. So next up is dash. For the dash, I did the same thing as with the roll, just sideways. Essentially, your character is launched forward, and since the game is called Pixel Dash, I had to add a bit more meaning to the dashing in the game. My plan was to allow you to break obstacles the moment you dash through them, and reward you with an additional jump. So, if you have good reaction time, you'll be able to sometimes skip a bunch of obstacles by jumping, then dashing into a wall, and then jumping again, sending your character far forward. Doing that felt really good and satisfying. It felt like the game already had a learning curve and skill expression. So honestly, I gotta give it to ChatGPT. He knew what he was doing. A bit after this, I realized that placing all these obstacles by hand would be an absolute hassle. So I made a simple stage spawner that would be creating platforms from the go and destroying the previous ones. I quickly threw a couple stages to test the game with, and the results were already very promising. I was actually having fun by just jumping over them, so things were heading in the right direction. The final bit of setup was the scoring system. I set up a timer that adds score every half a second that you're alive, and made some coins that the player can collect to increase their points further. Now, all that was left is for me to set up a leaderboard and connect to the game. Luckily, I did that already in the past when I made that game in 2 hours, so it was a really easy process this time. I just needed to remember to connect the leaderboard to the online one, so there won't be any future, complications. With that done, we have all needed features and mechanics. All that is left is more content and art. And since I'm tired of looking at that Unreal Engine 5 mannequin, I decided to do the art next. ChatGPT requested the game to have pixel art. And even though you guys know I have extremely good pixel art making skills, I still decided to borrow a character online. Once I did that, I traced it over with my custom character design, meaning I had to go over each and every frame, which might have taken me about 2 hours, but no worries. The end result was well worth it. For the background, I drew some gorgeous mountains, and for the obstacles, I made this semi-broken cube thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. For the coins, I made a spinning coin animation to make them more fun and appealing. And there it is. The game is now gorgeous. Keep in mind, ChatGPT will be playing this game at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around to see his reaction. After implementing all the art, I moved on to making all the needed widgets, such as main menu and balls menu, and when that was done, I started a build to cook while I ate dinner. Now, I think it's important to mention that it was already very late and I still had a lot to do, So it was very crucial for me to get that first build to succeed, because if it fails, that means I'm going to be set back by at least an hour, which I cannot afford. And oh no, the moment that I saw that it failed, I was immediately in panic mode, trying to figure out why that was the case. I checked almost every script, and after no success, I desperately started a new build without changing absolutely anything. Which is so stupid. Like, why would the result be different? I'm literally wasting my time doing this, instead of looking for a fix and... Oh, never mind, it worked. Okay, I just started a build after the previous one failed. I don't think I changed anything. I honestly just looked through the code and that's it. And this one succeeded. What? That makes no sense. For the remaining time of the challenge, I made a bunch more stages, added a control scheme and polished the background, ending the development process at around 12 AM, almost 12 hours after I started. Now, all that was left was to rest and talk with ChatGPT the next day. Today is the day after I developed and released Pixel Dash. Now it's time for me to show ChatGPT the game, have him play it, and hopefully give me a rating from 0 to 10. So let's head over to OpenAI and send him a little message. Dear ChatGPT, I asked you earlier yesterday what your dream game would be that can be made in one day. I ended up making that idea of yours, and now I got it ready here for you to try it. Alright, he's typing. What? Hold up. Let me call you real quick. How is he gonna call me? What? Discord? Okay. Hello?
Where is the game?
Oh, yeah. Here is a link to the itch page. There you go.
Alright, let's give it a try.
Yo, he's cracked. What? I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, that's 2 out of 10 at best.
Wait, what? But you told me that's your dream game.
Buddy, I change my mind all the time. Ask me again and you'll see.
Okay, what's your dream game then?
A game with the default Unreal Engine vehicle where you drive around a neighborhood stealing packages.
A game where... Wait, that's... He hung up. Well, I guess ChatGPT didn't like this game. But you might, so head over down in the description where you're gonna find a link to Pixel Dash so you can play it and hopefully beat my score of 3,500. My score is actually not that high, but you can try and beat ChatGPT's best score, which is 30,000. And if you beat that one, then good job, I guess. Now I'll leave you with this wild gameplay from ChatGPT that shows how skill expressive the game can get. And as always, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.